is the last of the Grand Bank schooners that fed so many men. The blue will know the blue knows in the sun.
Hey folks, Revolutionary Brewer here, and we're back with another homebrew kit review. So I got this new webcam going. It doesn't need, I don't need the big boom for the headphones and everything. The microphone's pretty good in it. Got it off Amazon for 25 bucks. Picture quality's pretty good. But anyways, let's get down to what we're going to do here tonight. We're going to review the Munton's Mellick Brown Ale. So I've already, years ago I think it was, I did the Munton's Brown Ale, just a regular standard kit, and now this is the Mellick Brown Ale. The difference is the Mellick cans are a little bit bigger, you get a little bit more in them, and it's supposed to be authentic Irish style. Not sure exactly what that means, but I know the regular Munton's Brown Ale kit was good, but let's see how the Mellick is. So without any further ado, we'll crack it open. A nice fizz off the top, and we're going to do it in our nice Newcastle Brown Ale glass appropriately. And we'll see what we get out of this. We'll give her a nice pour. A little bit aggressive. Whoa, don't want it to get too high. All right, and there we go. Okay, I poured it a little too high, so got a little bit too much head on it. But as you can see, it's a nice brown ale. Nice big creamy head on it. But as always, it's all about the taste with these beers. Now this beer here, just before I tell you how it tastes, I brewed this my standard way, 1.5 pounds of malt extract, 1.5 pounds of liquid glucose, and I brewed it up to 19 liters. So I didn't add any hops or anything to this. And it's a nice tasting beer. A nice tasting beer. When I brew the kits for the first time, I don't add any hops to it because I just want to see what the kit itself tastes like. Now, this has only been in the bottles for maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, so it's still a little bit green. And yeah, the head dissipates pretty quick on it. But it's a good beer. It's a solid beer. Now, the original beer tasted, I would say, pretty much like this, if I remember correctly. I don't do a whole lot of Munton's kits, but this one I picked up because I don't see the Mellick kits around a whole lot, so I said I'll pick this up specifically for a homebrew kit review. And so we got this, my cat's pawing at me here. So we got this on sale. Actually, it was like 20% off. It was a 20% off sale, so it was really reasonable. It was like 17 bucks for the can kit, and you can't beat that. What I do now, though, is I always pick up an extra packet of yeast. If it's the Cooper's yeast, I'll use either the 2 7-gram yeasts that come with it, or I'll get, they have the, at a local homebrew shop for like $3, they got the big 11, or I think it's 15 grams of Cooper's yeast that they sell. So I use a little bit more yeast that comes underneath the cap, and the reason I do that, I bought a hydrometer, and I find it does ferment better when you add a little bit more yeast. It really gets you down to your final gravity. You don't have to do it. I mean, but it's something that I find makes a little bit of a difference. And so for the extra $1 or so over a batch of beer, it's worth doing. And generally now when I homebrew the kits, I also add some hops to it. I get the malt extract boiling, and then I just add in my hops. I usually boil in some flavor hops for 20 minutes, you know, usually maybe 3/4 of an ounce or something like that, just to add a little bit extra flavor. And then in the last couple minutes of the boil, I'll throw another little handful, maybe a 1/4 ounce in, just for a little bit of aroma hops, just to give it that little smell. And I find it makes these canned kits beautiful. It's a beautiful beer. This, I'm going to give it a solid 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. It's nothing that'll knock your socks off. It's just a great, refreshing, it's a very neutral tasting beer. For a brown ale, it's very neutral. Now this one too, I have to confess, I brewed this one. It was very warm out. It was brewed in the summertime heat, so I tried to keep it cool, but this one got up to, at times, about 25 or 26 Celsius, which is too high. It's too high, so it does have that. Luckily, it only has a little tinge of fruitiness to it. I brewed a couple that accidentally got it. I never want to get it up that high, but it just happened that I couldn't keep it cool enough, and it got up a little bit during fermentation. And sometimes that'll give you a fruity taste. You want to keep these kits as close to 20 degrees as you can. You don't want it getting up too much above that. Sometimes they do, you can't help it. And this one stood up very well. It's just a clean, easy drinking, fairly mild brown ale. That's nothing fancy about it. Just, I would say, a solid 3 out of 5. It's just Muntons has always impressed me. They make fine kits. I usually brew the Coopers. That's my go-to kit, but nothing wrong with Muntons. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up and give it a solid 3 out of 5. I can't go wrong with this. If you like a dark ale, it's not quite a Newcastle brown ale. I mean, you're not quite there, but it's a good beer. It's very drinkable. I would say this is a very sessionable beer. You could drink many of these in a go for sure. It's just very easy drinking, very mild, and there goes my cat in front of the camera. Anyways, cheers, and we'll see you with the next homebrew kit review.